Hello everyone, Just Podcast TV is here. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified on new contents.
Episode 410, The Concept of Service. Zach angrily entered Thomas's office, but the angry look on his face disappeared after he entered. Thomas was making plans at this time. When he saw Zach come in, he immediately asked, "Chairman, what can I do for you?" Zach waved his hand. "It's fine. You are busy. I will come over and sit for a while." Thomas did not know what was going on, but since Zach said it was fine, he naturally did what he needed to do. After pouring Zach a glass of water, Thomas continued with his plan. Zach also sat on the sofa and looked at Thomas's plans. As for Fallon's matter, Zach did not take it to heart at all. Was there a need to be angry over such a small matter? Of course not. If he was angry over such a small matter, he would have been angered to death long ago. The reason why he was angry with Fallon was because he wanted to take the opportunity to give Fallon a beating, as well as to give the rest of the people in the hospital a good beating. This was a hospital. What he needed was for every medical staff to learn enthusiastic service and not to sit there and be a stick in the mud. People and patients came to see a doctor, not to spend money to see a doctor's face. He had to let everyone, including Fallon, understand this principle. As for whether or not deliberately throwing a tantrum would cause Fallon to be unhappy, it did not matter even more. He found someone to serve this hospital better, and not invite an ancestor to come back and let him serve with a smile. He also believed that his judgment of people was not bad. Fallon would not be an ancestor. As expected, after about 10 minutes, Fallon came over. "Chairman, I am really sorry about Greg Zant. It was my fault for doing this. I did not consider everything properly." It was a bit awkward to ask an old man in his 60s to apologize to him. However, with his current status, the corresponding responsibility and the other responsibilities were also there. Zach pointed to the sofa beside him, signaling Fallon to take a seat, and then told Fallon a story. A boy who worked for someone to mow the grass called his client Mrs. Adderley and asked, "Do you need to hire someone to mow the grass?" Mrs. Adderley replied, "No need. I already have a lawnmower." The boy continued, "But I will help you remove the weeds and the flowers." Mrs. Adderley replied, "My lawnmower has also done this." The boy said again, "I will also help you cut the grass and the four sides of the walkway." Mrs. Adderley said, "The person I hired has also done it. Thank you very much, but I really do not need a new lawnmower." The boy hung up the phone, and his friend asked him, "Didn't you work at Mrs. Adderley's lawn mowing? Why did you still make this call?" The boy answered seriously, "I just want to know how well I did." After telling the story, Zach lit a cigarette. At this time, Thomas also stopped what he was doing and looked up. Zach was no longer trying to reason with someone, but with Fallon and Thomas. This is the story. The boy's friend only smiled, but from the perspective of listening to the guest's heart, their story is established, and the truth is clear. I have thought about how to restore our hospital's clinic to its former number of consultations, and I have thought of many ways. I have even thought of advertising, but now the effect of advertising is gradually no longer the same as before. It will no longer be a special weapon for consultation. It will work once it's used. Moreover, the advertising bombardment has been used up too much by the private hospitals. It has long overdrawn the trust and the attention people have for advertising. Nowadays, more and more hospitals have already felt the pressure of the decreased number of consultations. So when reflecting on the problem, we need to see the inner nature of the matter clearly through the surface, so that we don't be busy solving superficial problems all day long, which is to treat the symptoms, but not the root. The pressure of the number of consultations can't just be attributed to the advertisement, or rather the creativity of the advertisement. The concept of basic customers should become a new focus. For medical treatment, what does basic customer mean? Basic customers are the motivation for long-term sustainable development for the hospital. They are also nuclear weapons that can help the hospital get rid of the advertising control. The most important thing to maintain basic clients is service. Heart-warming services. That morning, Zach told a lot of things to Thomas in the hospital, including the maintenance of basic clients and what the market was. He also talked about the services that he understood and recognized. Finally, he said, "All the employees in the hospital are part of the marketing of everyone here. Any employees that come into contact with the hospital will be the ultimate spokesperson of the hospital. Only by constantly answering questions about your services, constantly improving the quality of your work, and constantly paying attention to our customers can you create more loyal customers and create a good reputation." After Zach finished speaking, Palin was still in a daze, but Thomas had already clapped. "Understood, Chairman. You have benefited a lot. Your view on service is not only applicable to the medical industry, but also effective for other industries. I have been taught today, as expected, no one can succeed so easily." At this moment, Thomas was completely convinced by Zach. This kind of understanding towards service had really benefited him a lot. He even decided that in his future work, he would also use this kind of service concept on customers. At this time, Palin finally realized the importance of service. Indeed, take today's matter as an example. If an ordinary customer was wronged by Greg's aunt, then he would go back home and spread word of it to his relatives and his friends, describing the bad things in our hospital. And if we find out from them that our friends in our hospital are not good, we will also pass word of mouth on to them. This kind of bad influence caused by a single person will leave a bad impression on many patients in our hospital. Maybe even the smiles of 100 employees will not be able to win back that person. Chairman, I really understand. Don't worry. I will convey the spirit of service to them later. You must at least be like the lobby manager of the bank, welcoming every customer with a smile. Palin continued to work. Thomas had also made his plans. Zach, with the help of the new archive manager, found the information regarding his father's surgery. After carefully checking, he found that his father had indeed had a liver transplant surgery in this hospital. His recovery was not bad, which made Zach feel more at ease. What made him happy was that his father actually left a contact address here, which was in the city. So Zach put away the information and left the hospital. He drove straight to the address, left on the information. It was a high-rise residential building. It was very ordinary and did not look luxurious. Zach went to room 102 on the 9th floor, recorded in the documents, and knocked on the door. However, after knocking for a while, the door to the room opposite the door opened. "Stop knocking! The property management has been knocking on the door for 3 months. I haven't seen the door open until now. I still owe the property management fees." Zach was very surprised. "Then, when was the last time you saw this family?" The old lady thought about it and said, "It should be half a year, right? Yes, it was half a year. That was my grandson's birthday. It was the last time I saw him." He chatted with the old lady for a while. Her appearance was indeed that of his father and stepmother, but it disappeared. Zach was very depressed. It was not easy to find him. Why did he leave again? After the old lady closed the door, Zach followed his father's habit and touched the side of the door frame. As expected, his fingertips touched something. Episode 411, Money in My Eyes. Zach ran into a key. When his father used to live there, he would always put it between the gaps of the door frame. Zach was not tall when he was young and could not reach it, but it did not mean that he would forget his habit. In fact, it was true. At this moment, Zach got the key to the door and then opened the door. The room was very clean, and it was decorated very warmly, just like the bedroom of his father. It was all tidied up by his stepmother. In a photo album on the table, Zach even saw pictures of his father and his stepmother. However, these pictures were from before. There were not many pictures of them in recent years, so they could not be found in the photos. Zach also saw a leather envelope on the glass coffee table in the living room. It was very classic. In today's society, it was not easy to find this kind of old leather envelope again. When the envelope was opened, there was a letter inside. Zach could tell from the handwriting that it was left behind by his father. The letter said that he and Zena's mother were fine, so Zach and Zena did not have to worry. He also instructed the two of them to listen to the old fox. He also said that he wanted Zach to develop well, not because he did not want Zena and him, but because there was really something that he could not get rid of and could not meet. I heard that you are going to set up a public hospital recently. This is very good. Work hard and strive to get an Angel Medical Award. It does not need to be a medical skill type. Just get a public service award, maybe. But when the time comes, we'll have a chance to meet again. Zach was stunned. He had been working in the hospital for less than half a month. How did he know about this? The old lady had said that she had left for 3 months. If it was really 3 months, could he be good at calculating? Did he know that he would mess with public health hospitals? So he had written a letter in advance? This was obviously impossible. Therefore, Zach pondered that he must have returned in secret, but the old lady opposite him had not discovered it. After that, he threw the letter away and left. He didn't want to reunite with his father now. Regarding this point, Zach was especially surprised. He really couldn't figure out why he would make such a choice. He couldn't understand why he wanted him to get all kinds of rewards. He couldn't understand why he wanted him to get all kinds of rewards. If there was anything, just say it. Why did he get the prize tomorrow? He had already won the Golden Immortal Award, and he had also won the annual World Wind and Cloud Car. What was he up to now? What kind of thing was he up to? He had never heard of anyone getting a chicken feather as a reward. How was he supposed to get it? He looked at the letter again, but there was no other useful information left. This made Zach very depressed. Sitting on the sofa, Zach thought about what his family's long-lost father wanted to do. He couldn't figure it out, but he hoped that he would come back. Perhaps he could meet him again later. Sitting on the sofa, Zach took out his phone and checked the Angel Medicine Award on the letter. The Angel Medicine Award was the most prestigious biomedical award overseas. This Angel Medicine Award was for scientists, doctors, and public service personnel who made outstanding contributions in the field of medicine. The Angels Medicine Award was initially divided into Basic Medicine Award, Clinical Medicine Award, and Public Service Award. After that, there was an additional Special Contribution Award. As for the Public Service Award mentioned in the letter, Zach had roughly investigated it. It was related to medical health, but it did not require the recipient to be a medical practitioner. Moreover, it did not require medical expertise. As long as one made sufficient contributions to medical health, it was enough. Therefore, as long as it was something beneficial to public health, it was very likely that one would receive this award. However, this award faced the entire world, and it did not restrict the type of profession and professional technology one possessed. So, the threshold was relatively low, and the difficulty was not small. This was Zach's view on this Angel Public Service Award. As he pondered about how to win this award, Zach also realized there was another problem. His father's energy was not small. He could stuff things in the belly of the Golden Immortal Award, and he could stuff things in the annual World Wind and Cloud Chariot Trophy. Now, he was actually talking about the Angel Medical Award's Public Service Award. How many fields did he involve locally? What did he want to do? He was unable to figure it out. He was also shocked by the vastness of his design domain. However, at this moment, the ringing of his phone completely interrupted Zach's complicated thoughts. Picking up the phone, he saw the unfamiliar phone number on the screen. After the call was connected, a nervous voice came from the inside. "Hello, Chairman. I'm Sandra." Sandra took the initiative to call him and still wanted to see him. About 10 minutes later, there was a knock on the door and Zach saw Sandra. After indicating for her to enter the room, Zach closed the door and said with a smile, "What do you want from me today?" Sandra said, "I came here today to ask the chairman about something." So Zach asked, "What is it? Tell me." Sandra then organized her thoughts and said to Zach, "I heard that the chairman wants to improve the medical environment of our hospital. This way, he will buy a lot of medical equipment, right?" This question made Zach roughly guess what Sandra wanted to say, but he did not stop Sandra from continuing. Instead, he nodded. "It's like this. What's wrong?" Sandra stood not too far away. She lowered her head and said to Zach, "My husband, Greg, said that he can contact the medical equipment. No matter what kind of equipment our hospital needs, he can help to contact it. So he wants me to help him ask if he can set up a company and tell him if we need any medical equipment, he can help our hospital purchase it. He promised me that all medical equipment is a qualified product of a former manufacturer. He promised me that again and again." Zach looked at Sandra, who was in a hurry to make the promise, and asked with a smile, "Sandra, both of you have lost money in your eyes, right? Do you think that this is okay? I will give each of you $1 million. Episode 412. This is a devil. Sandra panicked even more when she heard Zach's question and good advice. She quickly waved her hand. "No, Chairman, that's not what I meant. I just feel that we have to purchase anyway. Greg has the right approach and knows about this. This is a good thing that the two of us can work together on. That's why I came to talk to you." Zach looked at Sandra, whose eyes were filled with sincerity. And she was so sincere that she looked like an idiot. He sneered and then took out his phone. After searching for the model of the MRI machine on the internet, he said to Sandra, "Come, didn't you say that Greg has the right method and knows about this? Then give him a call and ask which brands the MRI machine has, how much the production price is, and what advantages and disadvantages each have. Which famous hospital is using it?" Sandra replied, "Oh." She felt that since Greg said he understood, then he should really understand. After the call was connected, Sandra told Greg the problem, as Zach had said. However, Zach said to her, "Wait a minute. I'll turn on the computer and check. I'll reply to your letter in about half an hour." Sandra was stunned. "So you don't know anything?" Greg replied, "Nonsense. Why do I have to know everything when I'm a seller? It's fine as long as I can get in touch with them. I only care about earning commission. I don't care about anything else. All right, I won't be long-winded with you anymore. I'll investigate first." After saying that, Greg ended the call. During the entire conversation, the room was especially quiet. Even if the speaker was not turned on, Zach could still hear what was being said inside. Looking at Sandra, who was confused, Zach said with a smile, "Greg really fell into the eyes of money. So he only wants to make money from me. So you, Sandra, think the same. If he asks you to come, you come. You also think I am a fool, right?" Sandra appeared very embarrassed. "No, it really is not like that. I thought that he..." Without giving Sandra a chance to finish speaking, Zach said to her, "Since you don't think I'm an idiot, that's because you don't have a brain. Is there a need to say anything about this? How long have you lived with him? You don't know. How important is the hospital's medical equipment? As the head nurse, don't you know? Then tell me, what's so good about him? Just because he will use his computer to find out where the MRI machine is sold and how much it will cost? I really don't know. It turns out that using a computer to search for information online is considered a special skill. Tisk tisk. He's really amazing. Then I'll also open a company and prepare to search for information on the internet. Anyway, I'll check it out too. Alright, Sandra, do you know how to check things online? If you know how to do it, you could be the vice president. This little skill can make a lot of money nowadays." Zach's words made Sandra feel embarrassed. She simply did not know what to do. She was so embarrassed. She actually believed in Greg without any proof, and even came to beg Zach again and again for him. It was really embarrassing to think about it. He even felt that he had gone too far. After that, there was suddenly a knock on the door. Zach was very surprised. This was not his home. Who would knock on the door? Could it be that his father knew that he had come, so he had come to see him? Or could it be that Zena's mother was thinking about Zena and him, so she was soft-hearted and came to see him? The thoughts in his mind were in a mess for a moment. Zach could no longer care about Sandra, who was under him. He hurriedly got up and rushed to the door. When he opened the door, he found that there was an old man in his 50s standing outside. There were a few words printed on his white t-shirt. It was actually someone from a real estate company. After understanding this person's identity, Zach understood why he was there. This person was probably here to collect property fees. The old lady opposite him had told him that in the past 3 months, property companies had come to collect property fees countless times. Sure enough, in the next moment, the property management man said, "Finally, someone is at home. The water and electricity have all stopped for you. I don't know how you guys are doing. All right, hurry up and pay the property fees. The delay in the property fees is a total of $380 U." Without waiting for the property owner to finish speaking, Zach took out $500 and gave it to him. "Go and pay for me. The rest is your errand money." The property manager was instantly amused. He had originally felt resentful after running around for nothing, but he did not expect to receive such an unexpected reward. After accepting the money, the property owner uncle happily left. Before leaving, he didn't forget to say, "Don't worry, the water and electricity will be here soon. It definitely won't take more than half an hour." Zach did not care about this now. He only cared about Sandra, who was lying on the sofa in the room. However, when he returned to the living room, he found that Sandra had already put her bag on the table in a hurry and was ready to open it.